Still sick as a dog, but BMW decided to make me work today because apparently the updates for the 2021 1250GS are more important than me binge watching the X-Files all day long while I'm sick. But it's all good, the motorcycle news must flow, and because the 1250GS is their best-selling motorcycle, I'm sure they made some great updates to it, amazing updates which every rider has been asking for, like making it 20 kilograms lighter for example. Stick around to find out what the new 1250GS looks like. Compose. So, no. Weight is identical to the current model. BMW has instead decided to concentrate on electronics, lights and colors for the 40th anniversary of the GS. They know their target market very well, I see. The most striking change so far is that the big, beautiful daylight running light in the form of a sideways C has now been changed to an X with some lines on the side. BMW says this makes the new GS unique and unmistakable while driving. It was already unique and unmistakable while driving BMW. Everyone could see the sideways C from a mile away and instantly knew it was a GS. Now they'll see an X with the two lines on the right hand side. Personally, I'm not a fan of this change at all, but what BMW has managed to do next is pretty impressive. They've had different cornering light solutions on their bikes for a while now. The K1600 series had a great implementation with a xenon light and a mirror, which kept the horizon level and lit up the corners pretty well at night. Then they went to LED cornering lights, where an extra set of LEDs would turn on if you were leaned over a certain angle. Testing this out on the F900XR and the S1000XR, they were pretty much too dim to actually make enough of a difference, but what they've done with the new GS is use the low beam, the one that's plenty bright, as a cornering light by making it swivel. Due to this 35-degree swivel function, the light horizon remains constant and good illumination on the road is achieved using the high-powered low beam LEDs while cornering. I really cannot wait to test this out. Another advantage of mounting the LEDs on a swivel platform is that the light pattern is now self-leveling even during dynamic riding, so you'll no longer blind other participants in traffic while under heavy acceleration. Basically, the new GS's LEDs can now swivel around, help you in corners and remain at a level horizon no matter how the bike's nose rises or dips. This is an optional upgrade and I'm sure BMW has made this sturdy enough to not break the mechanism when going on bumpy off-road terrain where the GS should spend its time. You have BMW, right? Yeah, I mean, you've thought about this. Have you? Moving on, all 1250GSs now have LED indicators as standard. These have been redesigned from the original ones that came out in 2013, are now darker, have a lot of smaller LEDs inside instead of the two large LEDs on the original ones, and in my opinion, make the bike look more stylish and menacing. As an optional, you can fit multi-function signal lights on the rear, which will act as brake indicators as well, getting rid of the standard brake light. Next up, moving on to electronics, ABS Pro, or also known as cornering ABS, is now standard. This gives you even more peace of mind while riding, knowing that even while cornering in an emergency situation, you can brake as much as you need to and let all the electronics do the work. 3 riding modes now come as standard, and so does dynamic traction control. A new riding mode gets added named Eco, in which the rider is encouraged to ride as efficiently as possible. It is meant exclusively for those riders which spend 20k on a motorcycle and worry about what kind of fuel economy they get, because in the larger picture of things, fuel definitely is the biggest cost of owning a motorcycle. Hill start control is a standard feature which enables convenient stopping and starting when riding uphill. The Pro version, which is an optional, should prove especially handy on off-road now when you get stuck halfway up a hill, since it has been tuned for the different riding modes you may be in, including Enduro and Enduro Pro. USB port people, the most used electrical socket on a motorcycle has finally made its way to the GS, and guess what? It's standard. It's a high-powered, quick charging compatible port with a waterproof cap. Welcome to 2020. A standard 12-volt plug is also provided, but is now mounted on the left under the rider's seat. Speaking of seats, heated seats have also joined the party. Available for both the rider and the passenger, they are controlled for the rider using a menu function on the TFT display and have 5 different heating stages, and for the passenger using a rocker switch next to their seat, but with only 2 different heating stages. And lastly, we have new color options for 2021, 4 colors to choose from. The ice gray mouse-looking color stays unchanged with its red seat for the adventure version. The gray and white with a black seat for the standard GS version stays pretty much the same. The rally version of both GS's gets a bit of an upgrade with the decals and the seats spruced up a little. There's also a triple black edition for both versions, which, you guessed it, makes you look like Kit from Knight Rider, and the newcomer is the yellow and black 40 years of GS edition. I'm just gonna give you a moment to take this one in. I'm just gonna end this video letting you know that the R100GS, from which this was inspired, was only 210 kilograms wet weight, 460 pounds for the Americans, and this was built in 1993 with 30-year-old technology and, most importantly, materials. That's it, that's all I'm gonna say. So, are these changes what you sort of wanted to see for the GS's 40th anniversary? In your opinion, is this the right direction BMW is taking the big GS? Let us know in the comments below. Well, that's the show for today, everyone. If you've enjoyed it, give it a big thumbs up, and if you think you've learned something new, consider subscribing or becoming one of our Patreons. Cheers, and I'll see you on the next one.